Aquarius, welcome to your end of October 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I hope all is well, and let's see what we have here. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Three of Pentacles. This is the Architect's card. This is the person who is building for their future. This is a good money card. This can indicate material abundance, but also in the process of doing something that's going to have long-lasting effects. So yeah, if you're starting your own business and you're saying, I want this business to, carry itself, maybe be self-perpetuating at some point, if it's the type of thing that that's more, it can turn into passive income or something like that. But just in general, just something that you're building that has a solid future, including relationships. Now, the cards that are surrounding it, though, are kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily confusing, but almost contradicting that, because we have in the past position the Judgment card, which can be a card of perhaps some kind of judgment, legal judgment, like a divorce, for instance. And with the Three of Pentacles, this can even be that perhaps there was something, the Three of Pentacles can be the co-workers. So if you're having an affair with a co-worker, that is leading to the relation, after a divorce, getting involved with someone like that, that could be the case. Sometimes the Three of anything can be like a third party situation. So whether it's on your end or your current former partner's end, it's hard for me to tell. What I usually do is I look at the cards around it to see if it suggests something negative. And if the cards are positive, then I assume that this is somebody that you have met that is more for you, is more the person that you're meant to be with than whoever it was that you were with before. But the other thing that we could look at too in terms of work matters is that, the Judgment card is a card of rebirth, and it can be baptism by fire, where something has to happen that is very upsetting in the time, but in retrospect, you look back and say, wow, that actually was a good thing. I didn't see it then, but it was actually a good thing. And back in early August, you had a full moon in your sign. So there may have been something in your life that came to a close, and that is connected to that Judgment card. So whether it was that you and the business that you were working for parted ways, or something came to light that caused you to, file a complaint or seek some kind of arbitration at work, that appears to have been concluded, and that's why the Judgment card is in the past position. But here we have, as the spiritual message, the Six of Cups, which can be a card that's associated with the past, childhood, soulmates, and things like that. I just realized I have coconut oil in my hand, and it's like and this kind of thing can lead to maybe going back and doing something that you've always wanted to do since you were a child, and you're able to do that because you've been maybe set free, and yet it might not feel that way. It might feel that you experienced a sense of loss. And so that's where it gets tricky, because you have to reframe it in a way that makes it good for you. Otherwise, you may say, oh, yeah, right. They cut me loose. I don't have this job anymore, blah, blah, blah. And really, it's not that way at all. It's not bad. It's not anything that you should fear or regret. Because when I see the Judgment card, it's a card of karma. So it's like cause and effect. And so it's kind of like out of your control. And if you embrace that, and you can just like sit back and surrender to it, surrender to the things that are out of your control, then you can like reflect on your life and say, what can I do now? What is the universe opening up for me? And I feel like this thing can be very good with the Three of Pentacles, maybe even financially lucrative. And, it's funny because I have another card that's Pentacles, but it's in the challenge position, the Nine of Pentacles. And this is a card of, in the upright position, this would be a card of financial independence. So I'm suspecting that you don't feel that way. So you don't feel like you have the ability to stand on your own 2 feet financially. So, for instance, if you have gotten divorced and you're happy, you might feel free about that. You don't necessarily feel financially, I don't know about stable, but that you are completely free from that. That you don't need any assistance. And maybe there are something dictated by the courts or something like that, and even children. One thing I didn't say is that the Six of Cups can be children, and so that might be like child support, for instance. And you're building that foundation. So it is a process. And even if, I think what I'm getting here is because Aquarius is a fixed sign, if you've had some recent change in your life, it may shake you more than the average person because you're so used to having things be a certain way. And then you don't necessarily want the shift in things in your life, which is ironic because you're ruled by Uranus, which is all about unpredictable things. You're also ruled by Saturn, and that's more of that anchor that can keep you in place. But sometimes it can hold you back. And I feel like, if there's any kind of a thing with the Nine of Pentacles, especially if you have inner planets in Capricorn and you tend to worry, or you have the moon in Cancer or something, you tend to worry about finances, or Capricorn, you have to be willing to face the unknown and realize that the unknown can bring untold material blessings as well as other things. It's funny, I'm getting a card here, what's coming in with the Ten of Cups, which is a card of marriage. It's also a card of family harmony, and it's a number of completion. So it's like, happily ever after, this chapter in your life. So all's well that ends well, even if there have been kind of uncertainty, perhaps in recent months, especially since August. But you've been dealing with, one thing that I do have to state, which is very important, is that Saturn has gone back into Capricorn since July. So that might even be earlier than August, when you have felt this kind of maybe some oppressive energy. Maybe that's the Judgment, although I think the Judgment card is connected to Pluto, which is also in your 12th house. These are 12th house placements, and this is karmic. This is the the house of suffering, the house of undoing, the dark night of the soul. And, kind of weathering that storm. This too shall pass, though. Pluto will be out of this house in several years, never to grace your door again, and you have had it. You can buy a t-shirt or make a t-shirt that says, I survived Pluto in the 12th house. And all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Oh, that would be a funny title for this video. But yeah, you have gone through a lot, and it's very hard with Pluto and Saturn, these malefic planets according to Vedic astrology, but they really aren't. They really are teachers. They really are way-showers. And having to navigate the present moment, dealing with all this other stuff that may be coming. Maybe the Judgment card is like this karmic bitch slap, if you will. And then you have to kind of find your bearings. Something that happened to you in the last few months. And the Ace of Swords is the outcome, which is really having a sense of clarity. You are the swords, Aquarius, because you are one of the air signs, and this is associated with that. This is, I think in one of my books it says, moving ahead, a new beginning coming from terrible circumstances, which I thought was funny because it sounds so dramatic. But I feel like it's gaining clarity of thought that allows you to move forward with a sense of purpose, but also realism. And I wonder if there is some kind of an issue of extramarital affair. But in that context, I would think that it was coming from another party. Maybe not. Maybe you were bamboozled by somebody that you were having an affair with, and they said they were going to leave their partner, and they never did. And in that case, I would say even that the Judgment card could be like a karmic thing, like, well, you play with fire, you get burned. And the Six of Cups is look to your childhood. See these patterns that keep recycling themselves. The 12th house with these heavy hitters there. And Saturn recently went direct, so there may be some kind of movement with Saturn that is really kind of speeding up your karma in that 12th house. Saturn will be there until December. And trying to remind you of your deeply held patterns that may work against you, that may be things that are not helping you to get ahead in life, that are keeping you spinning your wheels. And this, like the Ace of Swords, is getting out of that confusion and seeing life as it truly is. Yeah, you know what, Aquarius, if you have inner planets in Pisces, this can be something that is problematic for you. I actually had a boss who was an Aquarius, and she had the moon in Pisces, and she was a real piece of work, because those two signs in combination can lead to a lot of diluted tendencies, because Aquarius thinks they know it all. Oh no, I'm going to get in trouble. I forgot for a minute I was speaking about Aquarius. Oh my gosh. But I mean, seriously, because you are highly intelligent. But when you mix a high amount of intelligence with a lot of Neptunian energy, it can be very deceptive and lead you into strange places. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I've said enough. But I hope that, maybe if you have come out of some denial, if your Mercury is in Pisces, there's certain things with Pisces, Venus in Pisces, Mars in Pisces, but especially Venus and Mercury in Pisces, as well as the moon, of course, that can lead you to believing things that are not really true. The moon in conjunction with Pisces, with Neptune, Mercury in conjunction with Neptune, or square Neptune. Venus square Neptune. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm primarily an astrologer. And so I have mostly astrology readings, some tarot. I have a sale, a special offer, kind of like an introductory offer for people that want both a full-length tarot as well as a astrology reading, a sale called The Whole Enchilada. But you can check out my offerings at rainandmoonastrology.com. The link is below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.